After studying this module, you shall be able to know about how the excess glucose is stored in our body, identify the various sources of glucose or carbohydrates, as glucose is a simple sugar found in the carbohydrates. Know about the two forms of glycogen storage as liver glycogen and muscle glycogen. Know about the storage form of glucose in plants, that is in the form of starch. Identify the structure of glycogen and how glucose units are linked in glycogen. Learn about the biochemical processes of glycogen degradation and synthesis. Carbohydrates or saccharides are the most abundant biological molecules. The basic carbohydrates units are called monosaccharides. There are numerous different types of monosaccharides which differ in their number of carbon atoms and the arrangement of the hydrogen and oxygen atoms attached to the carbons. Furthermore, monosaccharides can be strung together in almost limitless ways to form polysaccharide. When we intake carbohydrates rich food, it is broken down its smallest molecule, that is glucose. From the intestinal tract, it goes into the blood streams which carries these molecules throughout the body. Under usual conditions, glucose is the brain's primary fuel. Since brain cells store very little glycogen, they require a steady supply of glucose from the blood. A blood glucose concentration of less than half the normal value of approximately 5 millimolar results in brain dysfunction. Levels much below this results in coma, irreversible damage and ultimately death. As this is shown in figure, this is the sucrose which is present in the common table sugar, which is then converted into its monosaccharide unit, that is glucose. Once an organism has taken food, the food is digested and needed nutrients are sent through the bloodstream. When the organism has used all the nutrients it needs to maintain proper functioning, the remaining nutrients are excreted or stored. Excess glucose is stored in the liver as the large compound called glycogen. Glycogen, the storage polysaccharide of animals, is present in all cells, but is most prevalent in skeletal muscle and in liver, where it occurs as cytoplasmic granules. Glycogen has a highly branched structure which has many non-reducing ends, so it permits the rapid mobilization of glucose when there is a metabolic need. Food sources of glucose. Glucose is the most simple sugar of carbohydrates. When more complex carbohydrates such as polysaccharides and disaccharides are broken down in the stomach, they break down into the monosaccharide glucose. Carbohydrates serve as the primary energy source for working muscles, help brain and nervous system functioning and help the body use fat more efficiently. Carbohydrates are present in most of the food we intake such as bread, fruits, vegetable, meats and so on. Any food that contains sugar has carbohydrates, and most foods are converted to sugar when they are digested. The food sources of glucose or carbohydrates is shown in figure. Functions of glucose. Two most important functions of glucose are: the first one, the primary function of glucose is to provide energy for physiological processes such as respiration, muscle contraction and relaxation, heart rhythm and the regulation of body temperature. The second one, the energy needed by the brain, neurons and developing red blood cells can only be acquired from glucose. Complete pathway of glucose breakdown is named as glycolysis. It is probably the most completely understood biochemical pathway, which is a sequence of 10 enzymatic reactions as depicted in figure number. It plays a key role in energy metabolism by providing a significant portion of the free energy used by most organisms and by preparing glucose and other compounds for further oxidative degradation. Glucose usually appears in the blood as a result of the breakdown of polysaccharide. Example, liver glycogen or dietary starch and glycogen, or from its synthesis from non-carbohydrate precursors, that is gluconeogenesis. Glucose enter most cell by a specific carrier that transport it from the exterior of the cell into the cytosol. Glycolysis convert glucose to 2,3 carbon units pyruvate. The free energy released in the process is harvested to synthesize ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate, that is PI. Note that ATP is used early in the pathway to synthesize phosphorylated compound, but is alter resynthesized twice over. Glycolysis can therefore be divided into two stages. Stage 1, energy investment. In this preparatory stage, the hexose glucose is phosphorylated and cleaved to yield two molecules of triose glyceraldehydes 3-phosphate. This process consumes 2 ATP. Stage 2, energy recovery. The two molecules of glyceraldehydes 3-phosphate are converted to pyruvate with generation of 4 ATP. Glycolysis therefore has a net profit of 2 ATP per glucose. The phosphoryl groups that are initially transferred from ATP to the hexose do not immediately result in the high energy compounds. However, subsequent enzymatic transformations convert these low energy products to compounds with high phosphoryl group transfer potential, which are capable of phosphorylating ADP to form ATP. As you can see in this pathway, in the first step, glucose is converted into glucose 6-phosphate with the help of the enzyme, that is hexokinase. Glucose 6-phosphate is then converted into fructose 6-phosphate with the help of phosphoglucose isomerase. Then with the help of phosphofructokinase, this fructose 6-phosphate gets converted into fructose 1,6-biphosphate. In this process also, that is when fructose 6-phosphate is getting converted into fructose 1,6-biphosphate, ATP is getting used and it is getting converted into ADP. After this, in step number 4, the fructose 1,6-biphosphate gets converted into 2,3 carbon unit. That is, the first one is dihydroxyacetone phosphate and the second one is the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Fructose bisphosphate aldose is the enzyme which is used in this conversion. In step number 5, these two units, that is dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphates gets interconverted into each other with the help of the enzyme, that is the triose phosphate isomerase. In step number 6, when the enzyme which is being used is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, this moiety, that is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphates, gets converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. In step number 7, 1 ADP gets converted into ATP and with the help of the enzyme phosphoglycerate kinase, the molecule which is formed is 3-phosphoglycerate. Then in step number 8, 3-phosphoglycerates gets converted into 2-phosphoglycerate and the used enzyme is phosphoglycerate mutase. After that, with the help of the enzyme enolase, this 2-phosphoglycerate gets converted into phosphoenol pyruvate and in the last step of this mechanism, that is at step number 10, phosphoenol pyruvate gets converted into pyruvate. The enzyme being used is pyruvate kinase and over here also in step number 10, ADP gets converted into ATP. So, this was glycolytic pathway. The overall reaction in the glycolysis goes like this, that is glucose with the help of 2 inorganic phosphate and ADP NAD, it gets converted to 2 molecules of pyruvate. There are 2 molecules of ADP formed, NADH formed and water molecules and hydrogen ions are formed. Storage of glucose. Once carbohydrates are absorbed from food, they are carried to the liver where its processing occurs. Some glucose is sent to the bloodstream for its availability to various tissues, while the rest is stored for later requirement of energy. It is stored in two types, as muscle glycogen and as liver glycogen. Muscle. Muscle stores approximately 1200 kilocalorie or 5020 kilojoule amount of glycogen. This glycogen is readily converted into glucose 6-phosphate for entry into glycolysis. Muscle cannot export glucose because it lacks glucose 6-phosphatase. Furthermore, although muscle can synthesize glycogen from glucose, it does not participate in gluconeogenesis because it lacks the required enzymatic machinery. Consequently, muscle carbohydrate metabolism serves only muscle. In actively contracting skeletal muscle, much of the pyruvate formed is reduced to lactate, some of which flows to the liver where it is converted into glucose. This is shown in figure, that is, the metabolic interchanges between the muscle and the liver. Glycogen is converted into glucose in the muscle, and with the process of glycolysis it gets converted into lactate. This lactate or the glucose which are interconverted between muscles and the liver, this lactate in liver which is present in liver with the pathway of gluconeogenesis gets converted into glucose. In the liver only the fatty acids gets converted into smaller molecule like carbon dioxide and the water. Liver. The liver maintains the proper levels of circulating fuels for use by various tissues such as brain and muscles. One of the major function of liver is to act as a blood glucose buffer. It does so by taking up and releasing glucose in response to hormones and to the concentration of glucose itself. After a carbohydrate containing meal, when the blood glucose concentration reaches approximately 6 millimole, the liver takes up glucose by converting it to glucose 6-phosphate. Liver can produce glucose for release into the blood by breaking down its store of glycogen and by carrying out gluconeogenesis. As you can see, this figure shows two different pathways, glycolysis and gluconeogenesis. In glycolysis, glucose gets converted finally to pyruvate molecule, and in the other hand gluconeogenesis, this pyruvate molecules gets again reconverted back to glucose. So, first this glucose molecules gets converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. First glucose form glucose 6-phosphate, then it gets converted into fructose 6-phosphate with the help of phosphohexose isomerase, and then this fructose 6-phosphate gets converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. After this fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, there are 6-7 steps through which this fructose 1,6-phosphate gets converted to pyruvate. This we have already seen, this is glycolysis, that or glycolytic pathway. On the other hand, gluconeogenesis, when this pyruvate molecules firstly gets converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, the enzymes which are used are more or less same as when they are being used in glycolytic pathway, and after that this fructose 1,6-bisphosphate gets converted into glucose. Over here the enzymes are a bit different, like when fructose 1,6-bisphosphate has to get converted into fructose 6-phosphate, the enzyme which is used is fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. On the other hand, when glycolysis was taking place, for fructose 6-phosphate to get converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, the enzyme which was used was phosphofructokinase 1. Similarly, when glucose 6-phosphate has to get converted into glucose, the enzyme which is used is glucose 6-phosphatase. On the other hand, in glycolytic pathway, the glucose gets converted into glucose 6-phosphate when hexokinase was used. Storage of glucose in plants. The storage form of glucose in plants is starch. Starch is a polysaccharide of the monomer glucose, as seen in figure. Starch is made up of the monomeric unit, that is glucose. This is how the polymer is formed. The leaves of a plant make sugar during the process of photosynthesis using chlorophyll present in them. Photosynthesis occurs in light, because photo means light. When the sun is shining and the energy from the sunlight is used to make energy for the plant. So, when the plants are making sugar, they store some of it as starch. When the simple sugar needs to be retrieved for use, the starch is broken down into smaller components. Glycogen. Glycogen, which is found in animals, fungi and the bacteria, and the starch which is present in plants, they both can function to stockpile glucose for later metabolic use. In animals, a constant supply of glucose is essential for tissues such as the brain and red blood cells, which depend almost entirely on glucose as the energy source. The mobilization of glucose from glycogen stores, primarily in the liver, provides a constant supply of glucose, that is approximately 5 millimole in blood, to all tissues. When glucose is plentiful, such as immediately after a meal, glycogen synthesis accelerates. Yet, the liver's capacity to store glycogen is sufficient to supply the brain with glucose for about half a day. Under fasting condition, most of the body's glucose needs are met by gluconeogenesis from non-carbohydrate precursors such as amino acids. Structure of glycogen. Glycogen is a polymer with alpha 1,6 linked branches every 8 4 residues. The structure is shown in figure, that is the linkages 1:4 and 1:6. That is, glycogen occurs as intracellular granules of 100 to 400 angstrom diameter spheroidal molecules that each contains up to 1,20,000 glucose unit. The granules are especially prominent in the cells that make the greatest use of glycogen: muscle up to 1 to 2% of glycogen by weight, and liver cells up to 10% of glycogen by weight. Glycogen granules also contain the enzymes that catalyze glycogen synthesis and degradation, as well as many of the proteins that regulate these processes. In this structure of two other outer branches of a glycogen molecule, the residues at the non-reducing ends are shown in the red color, and the residues that starts a branch is shown in the green color. The rest of the glycogen molecule is represented by R. Glucose units are mobilized by their sequential removal from the non-reducing ends of glycogen, the ends that lack the COH group, whereas glycogen has only one reducing end. There is a non-reducing end on every branch. Glycogen's highly branched structure therefore permits rapid glucose mobilization through the simultaneous release of the glucose units at the ends of each branch. Glycogen metabolism. Glycogen degradation and synthesis are relatively simple biochemical processes. First, let us see how degradation of glycogen takes place. Glycogen degradation consists of 3 steps. The first one, the release of glucose 1-phosphate from glycogen. Second one, the remodeling of the glycogen substrate to permit further degradation. And the third and the last one, the conversion of glucose 1-phosphate into glucose 6-phosphate for further metabolism. Glucose 6-phosphate is produced by phosphorylation of free glucose, by glycogen degradation and by gluconeogenesis. It is also a precursor for glycogen synthesis and the pentose phosphate pathway. The liver can hydrolyze glucose 6-phosphate to glucose. Glucose is metabolized by glycolysis to pyruvate, which can be further broken down to acetyl CoA for oxidation by the citric acid cycle. Lactate and amino acids, which are reversibly converted to pyruvate, are precursors for gluconeogenesis. So, the metabolism or the fates of glucose 6-phosphate is shown in figure. The glycogen can be converted to glucose 6-phosphate with the help of two enzymes, that is glycogen phosphorylase and the phosphoglucomutase. This glucose 6-phosphate can undergo glycolysis, it can form glucose in liver, and it with the help of pentose phosphate pathway it can get converted into ribose as well. Summary: glucose is a type of sugar that the body uses for energy. Glucose is the product of breaking down carbohydrates into their simplest form. Glucose molecules are absorbed from intestinal cells into the bloodstreams. It enters each cell of the body and is used by the cell's mitochondrion as fuel. complete pathway of glucose breakdown is named as glycolysis. It is probably the most completely understood biochemical pathway, which is a sequence of 10 enzymatic reactions. If the blood glucose level starts to get low, the liver is able to release glucose into the bloodstream to maintain healthy levels. Muscle glycogen reserves are stored energy for the muscle. The glycogen is able to be broken down into the glucose when the muscle contracts and requires energy. Glucose from glycogen is readily mobilized and is therefore a good source of energy for certain strenuous activities. The storage form of glucose in plants is starch. When the simple sugar needs to be retrieved for use, the starch is broken down into its smaller component. Lactate and amino acids, which are reversibly converted to pyruvate, are precursors for gluconeogenesis.